How do you distinguish if a person is fearful avoidant or they just don't want to be with you anymore? Some key differences are that a fearful avoidant is conflicted. So they pull away, but they still feel emotionally attached and may come back, or they are trying to avoid being able to feel any of the emotions associated with the relationship, how you may feel, or the breakup. So it's very much that the emotions are just too much, and that's why they're breaking off. Also, someone who doesn't want to be with you tends to be more clear. Like they pull away and stay away, and they don't try to keep the emotional connection going. They don't try to reach back out later. They don't feel confused about their feelings. They know exactly what it is and how they feel, and therefore they're probably able to communicate that. I don't want to be with you anymore. That would not be fearful avoidance. So some things you can look for when it comes to a fearful avoidant. Hot and cold behavior, loving one moment, being distant the next. Sudden withdrawal of closeness. They might disappear after a deep conversation or a vulnerable moment, and suddenly they go ghost. Mixed signals. They say that they care, but also they're not sure, or they're confused, or they're not ready, or they can't explain their feelings. Push-pull dynamic. They pull you in emotionally and then push you away. Emotional outbursts or shutdowns. When intimacy increases, they're going to self-sabotage, okay? Or they fully don't let go. So if they're still lingering, still checking in, still watching your stories, sending the just thinking of you texts, trying to check in, see how you're doing a lot, things like that, that could be them being fearful avoidant and trying to re-enter your life sporadically, but still keep themselves safe from emotions. Now, signs that they just don't want to be with you, it's clear, it's communicated, they tell you it's over and they don't follow up. Emotional detachment, they're no longer emotionally engaged, they're not checking on you, there's no effort, they're not trying to understand, they're not trying to fix, they're not trying to revisit anything. There's no reaction to your absence. Your silence, your distance doesn't provoke any response from them. They don't start wondering why you're being silent because they really are just done. They have moving on behavior like dating other people, blocking you, actually avoiding you in moderate but legitimate ways. And you sense that you're the only one who would be making the effort in communicating, so it would be one-sided. So ask yourself this question. Does it feel like they're avoiding pain or that they're simply done? Because someone who's a fearful avoidant, the reason why they're done is because they're trying to avoid pain. The pain that you're either going to eventually hurt them, or the pain that they're hurting themselves and they don't want to hear how you feel because they've sabotaged the relationship. Someone who's done, it's not really out of like a fear of anything. They just clearly recognize that you don't meet their standards, or there's some incompatibility, or there's something they don't like about you, or something you did that is a deal breaker for them, and they left. A lot of times there would be a more clear reason when there's someone is just done. Whereas with the fearful avoidant, you find yourself kind of confused. Like, why though? Or like, why did you just suddenly stop loving me? That's a little odd. Why did you just decide that you don't want to be together? It's a little bit odd. So those signs could kind of help you to differentiate. But please remember this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Someone who doesn't want to be with you doesn't qualify to be with you, because one of your qualifications, one of your standards is that they have to love you. They have to want to be with you. That's one of the basic standards you have. So when someone decides, oh, in this moment, I don't want to be with you anymore, oh, then you don't qualify to be with me, because what I'm looking for is someone who wants to be with me. Does that make sense? A fearful avoidant also doesn't qualify to be with you, because you need someone that can handle your feelings, that cares about your feelings, that can consistently show empathy for your feelings. A fearful avoidant can't do that. You need someone that's not running away from you. You need someone that can be steady and consistent, showing up for you every day. The fearful avoidant can't do that. They're not doing it, and therefore they don't qualify to be with you. So either way, you're comparing apples and apples because it's still people who you can't be with. They just don't qualify. It doesn't matter whether they're fearful, anxious, they had a legitimate reason, or they're dead, or none of this matters because you can't be with that person. They are just disqualified. And try to grasp that and get refocused on loving yourself.